Hi there guys, Sam here. You joined me in the new Volkswagen Passat to try out essentially the new infotainment, which I'm really excited to kind of share with you. The main reason for this is because I believe this is very in keeping with what the new MK8 Facelift Golf is going to be like. So yeah, just to give it a good feel, this is just me sitting in static just to tell you what it's all like, and I'm super excited to kind of go through this with you. Yeah, first things first, one of the big changes that has kind of happened is you've now got these buttons back on the steering wheel, which is quite cool. You've obviously got the much larger screen now as well, which, well, yeah, first of all, sitting in here, it's obviously quite imposing. And we'll go through, well, basically, this is literally me kind of getting up to speed of it and getting a feel of what the whole, yeah, of what it's like from just someone who's just sat in it, doesn't really know how to use it, and just to give you a little bit of a play around and a feel around of what it's like, certainly static. Now I have just been in that car there, which is a Mark 8 Black Edition, and that was the pre-facelifts of the Golf. So I had a little play around, and actually with a couple of hours I spent with that car, I got on with the infotainment quite well actually. Once you know to turn certain things off and what the right ways of how things work and certain shortcuts, it was perfectly fine. But yeah, first things first, let's go through it. This is very similar actually to my Mark 7 Golf. You've got the buttons back, which, to be honest with you, all I have to say is I've spent the last 7.5 years with a Mark 7 Golf R, and I've had no issues with the actual physical buttons on the steering wheel. I think it's a big improvement, and I think it's really nice that they've kind of, yeah, they've brought it back, and it's good to see. And hopefully I'll get the chance, hopefully, yeah. I've spoken to people at Volkswagen. I'm actually at Volkswagen's headquarters now. You might just be able to see it through that gorgeous glass panoramic roof. About how, well, basically when the Mark 8.5 Facelift Golf is going to kind of come out. But yeah, let's just check through here. So yeah, you've got this huge screen. I mean, I'll be honest, I actually have a computer science degree, and I'm, yeah, over a decade of knowing stuff about computers. This, I mean, I wonder sometimes if companies are becoming software companies rather than car manufacturers. But you've got this huge screen. Let me just see if I can work things out. So you've got shortcuts at the top, so you just pull it down, and you can basically see you've got the audio, you've got sound, you've got last destination, you've got traffic program, you've got the radio, so you can customize this into whatever kind of way that you want, really. It's a big screen, so static, it's okay. They have something called IDA, which is what they use for ChatGPT. You can use voice commands. It's very technical, to be honest. Straight away, I have to say, you really have to sit down with something like this to get a feel for it. But you've got your modes, your driving modes to choose from. You've got your assists to kind of select from. Engine's got to be switched on. But let's just briefly switch this car on. Yeah, I quite like just playing around with it. Certainly not on the move. It seems quite fine. I mean, I'm just guessing as I go. ESC system, so you've got traction control, start, stop, auto hold, heads up display, park assist. Oh wow, you've got so much to go through here. It is like a full-on computer. I mean, it's just absolutely endless configuring and playing around. I certainly feel like it's not laggy, like it works quite well. App Connect's kind of shown there. You've got temperature displays, you've got seat heating. Yeah, you've got a lot. And then obviously you've got the fact that you've got your physical buttons still here, obviously using like things like volume. You've got your cruise control. Yeah, different modes kind of going from there, like changing like your track on your radio. The screen itself, actually, it's quite good on eye line. I mean, that's my kind of view, if that makes sense, from head position. It's imposing. I mean, it takes up almost the size of that Golf sat over there. But for my first kind of like impressions of kind of like being in with the infotainment and sort of trying it out, as you can kind of see there from me kind of talking, it's not like what's the best way to kind of put it? It's not as imposing as I probably thought from images and still images. The resolution seems really high quality. Don't get me wrong, this is a big screen. I believe it's 15 inches. I'll clarify for sure for you on the camera in the description if I'm wrong. But to actually understand all of this needs a lot of sitting down and needs to getting through it. But you've got like your navigation, really good quality actually, no complaints there. I can kind of work things out. The one thing I would have to say is on the move, you know, how it's going to work, that's probably going to be the tricky part, I guess. You can check the vehicle's exterior. There's a picture of the Passat, which actually is a gorgeous, striking looking car actually. Yeah, you can check like your tyres. Very similar to the previous generation, it's just got speed. Actually seems pretty good. I mean, check out the resolution on that. It's really, really good. Yeah, that's kind of got a lot to it. There's a lot to kind of play around with and a lot to kind of like understand. And I guess when you're kind of driving on the move, is it going to be too much of a distraction? Well, I guess that's one thing I'm going to have to try out. But for this to kind of be sort of incorporated into a new Golf, I think is a good plus. I think the little touches on a facelift can kind of make quite a big difference actually. So it's quite nice to actually sort of experience and just sort of have a little bit of a play around in this, even if it is just briefly. And it would be nice to kind of, yeah, sit down in an actual Mark 8 facelift Golf. I've been bugging them to see when it's sort of available. You know, I'm literally at Volkswagen's headquarters and they don't have one here. There might be the possibility of trying one next month, and that's the main part that I kind of really want to check out. But it's going to be very much in keeping with this. But let me know what you think, because you know, it's all good me kind of sitting here talking. What do you think? You know, how do you think this works? You know, do you think you can get on with this? Do you think it's better than the Mark 8? Do you think it's better than that if you own that kind of car? Is it worth you upgrading? What do you think of the physical buttons? You know, I quite like them. You know, what's more to say? It's physical, it's nice to use. This actual car is really top quality actually, the Passat. Really, really nice. But focusing on the infotainment, yeah, I like it. I like it. I think the fact that it works at a good speed, you just have to map it out in your head. Understand what you need it to do for your kind of driving needs and just leave it at that. That's the key. You've also, this is very similar to what it was on the previous generation of, say, like the Mark 8. They're just trying to step things up and make things work a little bit better. And for me, I think, yeah, I like it. I like it. The resolution is certainly the one thing that really stands out for me. And I don't know how much that will come up on camera for you guys. But there's the screen. Bear in mind, we're in a Passat, so it's a big car. What do you think? What do you think of the infotainment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's what's going to be really important. I'm going to have a little bit more of a play around in this as well. And yeah, let me know any thoughts in the comments and I'll be happy to help you out on sort of like Volkswagen's new infotainment. Yeah, and share that with you guys. And this is a community channel, so please do get involved in the comments. And yeah, I'll be happy to help you out. And like, share, subscribe, plenty more content to come. So something I just wanted to add actually to this, just as I've now just finished the edit, is I spent a little bit more time with that infotainment actually, both, well, as a passenger as well. Just to kind of get a little bit more feel of it. And one thing that I really did like was actually IDA, which is the new ChatGPT kind of function. I'm still trying to get up to speed with a little bit of things. And the voice commands worked really, really well. I was with another sort of like automotive YouTuber as well at the time, and he was driving it and I was helping him out as he was kind of like scripting. And as he was testing it on the move, it all worked really, really well. Saying stuff like, you know, set the seat heating or set the temperature to this. So that there's a lot that you can do without actually needing to even use the screen. So I'm really interested to kind of get more into grips and just to spend a lot more time. That's the big thing for me, to spend the time in it. This is kind of like my initial introduction into it. But that's something I really wanted to add. Initial impressions, you know, first of all, I'm quite, you know, I'm skeptical over certain things, but actually initial impressions, I would say very, very good. And I'm hoping, you know, I'm filming this is on the 27th of April. I'm hoping in May to get a chance with the new facelift Mark 8.5 Golf. So that's going to be really good to kind of share and to really see exactly what the infotainment is. But it's going to be very in keeping with the other models from Volkswagen's range, like the Passat, the Tiguan. That's the latest. That was a brand new 2024 car to try. But yeah, I wanted to add that in. And let me know your thoughts in the comments, just as I've kind of said previously. And yeah, I hope to bring you the content very, very soon in the future with the infotainment.